Pokemon Scarlet and Violet tier changes are here, and there's some huge changes. Galarian Weezing, the number 4 most used Pokemon in RU, has jumped all the way to the OU tier. With its neutralizing gas ability, it's able to defog on Golden Go and shut down Poison Heal Gliscor. 2 Steel types has traded places, with Scizor rising up to the OU tier and Tinkaton finally dropping back down to UU. There are other big changes, so let's get right into it. We have a lot to talk about today, and I don't have a lot of time, but that's not going to stop this video from being a bunch of yapping. So feel free to tab out, do whatever you want. Think of this more as a podcast. So, from UUBL to OU, we have Ceruledge. Ceruledge has risen up to the OU tier. Why? Now, these are our official tier shifts. Let's talk a little bit about it. There's this RMT that was going around in May that features double removal plus Ceruledge. Ceruledge is a very solid Pokemon, especially when it has a Focus Sash intact, because Bitter Blade obviously getting you your recovery back with your weak armor plus Sash. It's very difficult for a physical attacker to stop you from setting up, and Dragonite also can extreme speed you because you're a ghost type. You'll also see Poltergeist occasionally on it too, but close combat's better into Garganical, and then Shadow Sneak allows you to deal with like Pokemon that are faster prior to you getting speed boosts, Pokemon like Dragapult. So Ceruledge, very good mon. It is already was banned from UU, it was UUBL. I know Blim also spams the hell of this mon, and he plays on the high ladder too. And yeah, it is a very strong mon that is almost always running the exact same thing. You rarely see like some bulk upsets, so I have seen them on Veil, but you'll see this on offenses like this very popular RMT, as well as on Veil offense with Ninetales and just allowing it to set up with weak armor. It's just so easy to get this Pokemon active. It's also very easy to get rid of hazards, I feel like right now. Right? It's a lot easier right now. And we'll talk more about like Galarian Weezing and why that is there, and also just how easy it is for Pokemon like Great Tusk and Iron Treads to spin. It just feels easier currently, in my opinion. And maybe I'm the only one who thinks this way. Unless you're fighting like a Terra Ghost Tinglu, Terra Ghost Hisui, and Samurott, I think it's really easy to get rid of hazards. And Ceruledge is also one of the mons that can safely come in. Has the stats, we didn't even talk about Terra, right? But has the stats like to come in on just the resistant moves and get the boost. But for the most part, you want the free switch of Ceruledge. It's going to set up and it's going to try and win from there. Now, some really cool ones. Deoxys has risen up to the OU tier. Now, Deoxys is seeing a lot of gameplay right now in tournaments. It's seeing a lot of gameplay in general. It's actually ranked pretty high in the viability rankings as well. I believe it's a minus. So a few sets that have been running around and a few RMTs as well that have been running around with this Pokemon. So the first one we have right here is by Sergio, and this features a Nasty Plot Terra Electric Deoxys with, I believe is right here. Nope, wrong one. Terra Electric Deoxys with Thunderbolt, Ice Beam, and I believe the last move is Psycho Boost. So if we look at the Pokepace right here, we'll see this. It runs heavy duty boots. This is typically what Deoxys is doing. We're seeing a lot of this as well. We're also seeing Terra Fight take place a lot in tournaments as a means of smoking Tinglu at +2, but also, you know, being able to take on King Gambit as well. Deoxys is just a very popular. It's fast, right? It's anti-meta for Pokemon like Zamazenta, the one right under it, right? It's faster than that. It's faster than Dragapult. It threatens Gliscor prior to it terastallizing with Ice Beam, and it's really good into a lot of balanced cores, especially because Tinglu, unless you're Blim who runs Rest. I keep mentioning Blim because when I think of Tinglu, I only think of Blim, and I only think of the Rest Talk one. Which I don't even think is the best set, but it just works really well when you pair it with like Dozo and Slowking and Cinderace, etc., which he does a lot. But we have Tinglu right here with its Earthquake, Ruination, Whirlwind. Oh, real quick, my God, thank you guys for all the support. I wanted to say it on the Showdown Live that I was putting up tomorrow, but thank you guys for all the support on the Drop a Draco merch. It was probably my best campaign ever. We also hit the goal, so myself, Blender, and Sway will be going to a VGC Regional sometime next year. I'll let you guys know more info. We'll obviously tell you guys ahead of time so we can do, you know, meet everybody and have a great time like we did this time, or like my Sway and I did last time in Milwaukee. And yeah, I'm very excited. I'm very grateful for my community as well. You guys are just the best. You guys are the best. Absolutely the best. And we do have other stuff to talk about with Advanced GG, but I'll talk about that later. But yeah, so Deoxys is like just around. Boots is really good. Obviously, it's a circumvent hazard. It's also faster. It's faster than so much. Like, it's faster than like Dragonite at +1. It's faster than a lot of mons at +1 too. And it actually doesn't have to run, you know, max speed to do that too. So you can obviously get away with bulk. So Deoxys is doing that. There's also other options of Deoxys, which I don't like as much, but there is the knockoff spikes one, and it's a very good knockoff spikes one, which runs recover. There's like the recover 3 attacks one as well that's running around, but there's like knockoff spikes, like Psycho Boost type stuff. Now, obviously, this isn't that great into. Sometimes it runs superpower as well. But obviously this isn't that great into like steals and other things, but the objective of this Deoxys is to get rid of everybody's heavy duty boots, which everybody's running, and then just get up as many hedges as possible. But yeah, Dio is seeing such popularity right now in the OU tier, and it's really, really cool to see. Scizor is another one that we're seeing. Now, in my opinion, I think Scizor was better, again, during the Roaring Moon meta game because it was a great, reliable answer to it with Terra Steel Bullet Punch. That you can deal with that, but obviously it's a great anti-offense mon as well that deals with the likes of Pokemon like Iron Valiant, Pokemon like Enamorus, Deoxys again. It can pick off Weaken Darkrai. I think, and obviously it's a Curum check on all teams too. So it's just overall great. This is actually really big for the UU tier that it got taken because while the usage stats don't show it in top 10 right here, if you combine the usage stats for the last 3 months, which is why we have tier shifts because tier shifts do change now every 3 months. Scizor actually at number 10, not Skarmory. So. Also, can we talk about how UU lost its number 2 Pokemon on 25% of teams, which is incredible, right? Deoxys was a great hazard setter. Deoxys was a great offensive threat too. So, I mean, Greninja stocks go up, Torn stocks go up, Latios stocks go up. Scizor being gone, Latios stocks go up, Torn stocks go up, Greninja stocks go up. We'll talk about the drops though in a second as well. But I think that's more ladder related. Like, a lot of these is more ladder related than what they actually are. Like, for instance, Tinkaton's still like A- viability in OU. It's still very, very, very good in OU. And while the viability rankings are just, you know, they're not objective. They are subjective, even though they're talked about by the council and people who are good at the game. They're subjective at the end of the day. It's still a really good Pokemon. I love what Tinkaton can do, but we'll get into that in a bit. But Scizor going down, amazing as well. Just a check to a lot, like Ogerpon, Cornerstone, and things like that, just gone. So pretty crazy for the U tier to have to lose Scizor. And both Deoxys, two very, very viable Pokemon. And again, I like Bandit Scizor more than I like the Defog one. I know people like Defog Boots. I do not like that as much just because Scizor obviously lost its roost. And there's no Morning Sun, there's no recovery for this Pokemon in general. I think it'd be a super top tier Pokemon if it actually had it, just because its ability to sit on like the defensive cores of like Clef, or if it's just like you would Terra in front of Corviknight. Obviously, if Corviknight's not Iron Defense, it won't beat you if you had a roost. Things like that. You could run Covert Cloak SD with Garg and stuff like that too, with Knockoff, Bullet Punch, and just Roost SD. That's all you would need to beat Garg 1v1, and basically everything else. But I love what Scizor can do, and obviously it's like a patch. I guess it's like a patch, like if your team needs a defogger, it's a good patch for like the anti-offenses that want to try it out. And Knockoff is very good too. Like it's just Scizor things, right? Really big Scizor things. Now, the biggest change, Weezing from RU to OU. My gosh, this mon. First off, look at this. Look at this guy was number 4 in the tier. Gyarados, Bisharp, about to go ham. Salamence, about to go stupid in this tier. So, woof, big loss for the RU tier. It's very easy to see why Weezing's been ran a lot, right? Weezing has been ran a ton in the tier. Whether it's a defogger that doesn't care about Golden Go, whether there's a defogger that doesn't care about Golden Go because of neutralizing gas, a Pokemon that can still Will-O-Wisp Golden Go, as well as Garganacl and Toxicate, or I like Wisp more. It's a fantastic Toxic Spiker because it can beat the defoggers via Wisp. Toxic Flare is not the move. A great Toxic Spiker as well. And then obviously you have your Pain Split too, which will help you beat down Pokemon like Garg, wear down Pokemon like Corviknight and things like that too. You won't typically run both of these, right? You'll typically see Strange Steam last. But my favorite thing about Weezing is coming in on Gliscor and then just having them take their hit with Poison Heal. It's a fantastic mon. It is a really cool. It's a great defogger, right? It's probably the most reliable defogger we have. Or it's literally the most reliable defogger we have. I've seen Terra Grass, I've seen Terra Water, I've seen Terra Fly, I've seen Terra Steel. Terra Steel to take like. I've just seen it take that like on the facades and like the ice moves from like Curum and stuff like that, which is the big one, to be able to get off a Strange Steam or a defogger or anything like that. But it's a very reliable defogger, and I think the fact that like you have Alamola, Glow King, and all them in the tier, and all you got to do is switch in this mon. That way, when they switch out, they don't get their ability, their regenerator. I think is really, really cool. So, and also if you look at the viability rankings, whoops, that's the I just like looking at the tier and everything as well. But if you look at the viability rankings, which I do not have here, oh, let 1 second. Weezing finds itself in A rank, right, alongside Pokemon like Landorus, Therian, Raging Bolt, Samurott, Glow King, like Tinkaton. Like Weezing is a very, very, very solid Pokemon. With Terra Grass, you also take on Ogerpon very well and can burn it with Will-O-Wisp, and it's just probably the most reliable defogger we have. Like literally, the most reliable defogger we have. That can also take on the likes of Dragonite boosted Zamazenta as well. If it's not sub, it'll beat it. Heavy Salmon can do anything, even with Terra Steel, it's not going to kill in one. And Weezing can do a lot back to that. So fantastic. Weezing stocks are on the rise. This is your time now, Weezing, but except for RU. RU, oh my God, RU about to flip on its head. So considering we're talking about OU, I want to move over to the drops real quick and talk a little bit about Tinkaton. So Tinkaton falls from O to UU. This is a lot of ladder stuff, in my opinion. I think it's still a phenomenal mon in the tier. I know they also think it's a phenomenal mon in the tier. It's A+ rank. One of the most popular teams with it was a combination of CTC, I believe 3D, Vert, a masterpiece of CTD, basically. Yep, having the massive bag of some more popular teams. And I know this was a CTC thing as well. And then 3D debuted it in OLT. But it features Tinkaton. And Tinkaton is really cool because its role is to punish the U-turners with pickpocket this air balloon and then end up stealing the air balloon. I know that 3D specifically loves to, or also CTC, also love to go back and forth between Mold Breaker and Pickpocket because it is so easy for this Pokemon to get a Stealth Rock when you do not have to worry about Hatterene or anything bouncing it back. Obviously, you still threaten with Gigaton Hammer. Encore as well. Encore and Thunder Wave are really strong too because with Mold Breaker you can Thunder Wave even Golden Go. You ignore its good as gold ability. Knockoff is very nice too, but just being able to steal heavy duty boots from something, still leftover, still Rocky Helmet, basically get rid of a threat. Like if Dragon Ball tried to U-turn on you and break your balloon and steal it with the Pickpocket. It is a phenomenal Pokemon that can still check the likes of Darkrai, that still checks the likes of Kyurem, that still is gonna steal your item or get up rocks, right? That's what it's gonna do. It's still a great mon. And obviously, OU losing it doesn't really mean anything because you can still use it in the OU tier. It's just really funny that this mon is going down. But it dropping down to UU is cool because it is still a secondary check to Latios and something that can, you know, there's a lot of good steel types in this tier, right? You have Drone #1, you have Heatran and Skarmory as well. But Tinkaton was always a staple to be able to take on Latios and can Thunder Wave. That's something that it has over those 3 steals. Like just Thunder Waving, and then on top of that, Rocks, Gigaton Hammer. They all have Rocks, but like Rocks plus Gigaton Hammer plus Encore, which none of those other guys have that combination of. So still cool mon for the tier. It's an Ogerpon Cornerstone check as well, though. I mean, it's going to take a lot from Ivy Cudgel to Super Power or anything like that, especially if they are running Stomping Tantrum as well. But I like Low Kick a little bit better, slash Super Power. But still good mon for the tier. A check to Torn as well that can potentially steal its heavy duty boots. If it knocks off on the Pickpocket set, and then you go from there. So then turn on boots, so you can have Rocks that actually do a lot from there. But I don't think this matters too much for OU because this mon's still good in OU and still gonna be used, and it doesn't really matter in that regard. Also, if you didn't know, we do still have, and we actually made the date a little bit farther because it finishes July 4th, but I was like, that makes no sense because it's the 4th of July. Like, I mean, people are not going to be around. So we'll be having the Advanced UG 10th anniversary drop till, I believe, Sunday will be the last day, and this campaign is also doing phenomenally as well. So much love, guys, for all the support, really. We're actually doing so good that if we hit a certain goal, it's a magic number that I don't know just yet, which is, I'm not trying to hide it from you. We will actually put free Drop of Draco socks inside all the mystery boxes if we hit that goal. So I have to find out what that goal is, but this is just what we discussed with them. And yeah, I know we're about like halfway towards that goal, but I also don't know how many we've sold of this either. So much love. You want to pick it up, feel free to. I have a lot of stuff going on. I love the maroon. I've been showing it off on stream. It's so good. The maroon is so cool. For the Drop of Draco Ice Shaker as well, and feel free to check it out. All this stuff comes with hydration, right? Nothing's caffeinated, but if you get anything caffeinated, 18+ as well. So that link will be down below. You can use code AIM on top of that. But yeah, Tinkaton still very, very good, very popular, very strong. Manaphy moving up to the UU tier. I'm not going to spend too much time on Manaphy, even though it's one of my favorite mons. Tail Glow and Take Heart underscreen in general in setup is just good. It's just good. It's bulky enough to take on Gren, and it's a balance breaker, right? It's bulky enough to take a hit from Latios. It can threaten things like Torn. So that's a big one. But the big one I want to talk about is the RU to UU changes, because we have both Fez and Slitherwing, and this is like, RU is in shambles right now, right? This has to be. RU has to be in shambles. Let's go back to what the viability rankings, or excuse me, the usage rankings were saying right there. So you don't actually see them here currently, but Slitherwing and Fez are within the, let me see if I can get the actual list real quick. So Slitherwing is at 8% usage and Fez is at 5% usage in the RU tier, which is pretty high when you think about in terms of that. But them moving up to U is pretty cool. I know they both have a lot of tournament usage specifically. Fez itself is such an annoying Pokemon, especially when playing the U tier. Typically, I know it runs the heavy duty boots and just like U-turns and heat waves around. I've seen taunt as well, just like a moonblast. It's basically your makeshift like low kicks check as well that can just U-turn, roost, heat wave if it wants to, do a little bit. I've seen Combine as well, but I don't think Combine is very good. But I like this set specifically. Obviously, if you play a lot of U and 2, I would love your thoughts down below as well on this too, because I'm commenting on the ones that I know and slash seen from both tournaments and like UUPLs and things like that too. But I haven't played a lot of UU on the ladder as of late. But I really did like this as a check to like Choice Lottie, though I think Soldo is better. And as a mon that can just kind of pivot around. Obviously, it doesn't deal with heat turn very well as well. But it doesn't care about knock from Torn and U-turns, and it punishes via Toxic Chain. It can eat hits from Greninja if it need be as well. And then threaten like a heat wave into like that. But it also just tanks low kicks as well in Ogerpon if it needs to. Slitherwing is really interesting though, because Slitherwing is like low kicks on steroids, because the first impression is obviously amazing for Lottie, Greninja, etc, etc, etc. But then you also have the close combat, which can threaten Heatran, even if it's physically defensive, Flame Body, which they do run for, low kicks, and as well as the fact that Choice Band is super strong. We also have in from RU, which I think is, oh, actually we can talk about the EU to RU drop. So Blissey, which is crazy to believe that Blissey was UU, because that mon has a lot of usage in OU, especially in tours and obviously on stall specifically. But I guess it's just that playstyle where they really end up having that. But to see Blissey drop to the RU tier is really interesting. Let's talk about Ogerpon for 1 second. That mon was quick banned. That mon, 52 minutes, I believe, was the not a record for a quick ban, but it was when it was put down. It was immediately put down, 52 minutes. Now, Ogerpon dropping down to the RU tier makes a little bit of sense considering Torn is so good. And like, if I want to use an Ogerpon in the U tier, I'm using Ogerpon Cornerstone for a few reasons. One, I have my built-in sturdy, right? So I have my built-in Focus Sash, so I don't really have to go. Also, I have secondary stab that actually threatens Pokemon like Torn and Scarm and Heatran, aka my Ivy Cut. Well, I guess it's secondary stab because it's Rock Stab, right? That can also crit through. It's still a reliable spiker, can still U-turn out, can knock Ivy Cudgel, and obviously Ogerpon Grass only has the grass Ivy Cudgel, so you don't threaten the steals as much. Yeah, you can knock, you can low kick, you can superpower. It's still decent that, and obviously being able to hold boots is a big thing, and getting the speed boost I think is really cool too. I just think not being able to really break through Torn, even if you knock it, is really mid. But that mon was immediately quick banned from the RU tier. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that, look at the tier, look at mons that give it a Defiant boost, look at mons that it can just knock off or outspeed if it wants to Terra, and look at the fact that it could superpower, these two are low kick, and Weezing's gone, right? So they were like, yeah, executive decision, let's quick ban this mon. And I'm okay with that. Now, Serp is a different story. Serp falling down, also, again, I don't think Blissey being in the RU tier matters. Maybe for like stall variants, you already have your Premier Special Wall and Goodra, but I'm sure Bliss can do a lot. There's some pretty big demons down here too. I guess also Slitherwing moving up is really interesting too for that tier. But Serp is interesting because I don't know how great Serp is going to be. I think the annoying part about Serp is going to be the fact that it has Glare, right? Always. But like Goodra is on a bunch of teams. You got Rachi right there. Rachi is not as great of a trek. And obviously Cyclizar and stuff can like knock off and U-turn and things like that too. But everything gets glared. That's the big one. I just think that you can't go for your Leaf Storms or Leech Seeds into Sap Super Goodra, right? This is the tier where it's going to run its ability, right? It's not almost any ability. Shout out to Natdex Almost Any Ability, which is back. I'm very excited. Guys, leave Natdex Almost Any Ability teams on my Smogon profile. My Smogon name is AIM. Just leave a bunch of Natdex. Really cool ones you had success with. I don't care. Anything. I want to use them. I'm very excited to play Natdex Almost Any Ability. That tier is so good. I'm very happy that's back. Anyway, Serp is interesting. I just think that Glare button is broken. But besides that, I mean, I guess if you're not running Hisui and Goodra, which 18% of teams are, you're going to fear Serp because Leaf Storms into Terra, Fire, or even like... No, I think you have to go Fire in this case. I guess Stellar is really cool too for the Terra Blast for the boost as well while you're doing it. And maybe that'll allow you to break through it. You can also have like something with Knock for Goodra and then wear it down with Hazard. So it's not even the biggest thing, and have like a good Ghost type to spin block Cyclizar, like Mimikyu or something. But besides that, I mean, it's Serp at the end of the day, right? Serp is really annoying. Serp is annoying. You know, I'm sure it's gonna be annoying as hell in this tier. As long as you're not running, if you're not running Goodra, I think it's gonna be annoying as hell in this tier. Some other mons that I don't really like. There's not really too much to talk about. Gallade and Lycanroc, great offensive threats, clicking buttons, right? That's what they do. They're like Slitherwing. They're just great offensive threats, clicking buttons. Lycanroc Dusk is one of the coolest Pokemon, hits incredibly hard. Terrafight CC will 2 KO even defensive Powdon. So fantastic one, right? Gallade with the sharpness boost is disgusting. And actually, look at this tier. Shoot, man, this Gallade just clicks Sacred Sword and Leaf Blade, Night Slash, whatever it wants, right? To boost through and cut through everything. So really nice. We do see Feraligatr and Suicune drop down. My baby, my favorite mon. Suicune makes a little bit of sense because Volcanion is up there. Cyclizar kind of just knocks it off and U-turns around, and Slowbro can eat the hits too. Goodra can Dragon Tail it out. Fine. Makes sense. Gator as well looks like it was struggling through things like Weezing, Scarf Gyarados, which is faster, Intimidate Salamence, like a Pivot and Terra as well. Volcanion, I mean, there's options there. It makes sense that it would fall down in the tier. Now, I want to talk about the RU to NU drops and the NU to RU rises. So on the right, let's go to the right real quick. Rain. Rain is back in the NU tier. Now, I do not know. I don't think Rain is going to last very long. Exhibit A. Gastrodon just rose up for NU to RU. The best answer, a Terra Ghost Gastrodon to Barraskewda, or Terra if you want to as well, because you know you have your Storm Drain, so you're immune to the water move, and you can resist the close combat if you're Terra Fairy, or you can be immune to it if you're Terra Ghost, which also doubles good as a spin blocker because you get spikes, right? So that dynamic of the two is like, yeah, there's no way Rain is going to be good. Rabia even asked me, you want to record? He's the NET leader. He's one of the NET leaders. He's like, yeah, you want to record? Because these mons are not going to be here. I was a little busy today, so I wasn't able to. But yeah, this combination, this guy moving up and this guy moving down, woof. Well, that's it. Barraskewda, or they'll end up, more than likely, they'll end up banning Drizzle again in that tier, if I'm not mistaken. Drizzle will end up being banned in the NU tier. It might even be already banned. Let me just put some things so this thing could tell. Ew. I think some people do this. Sometimes we be fighting sets like this. Barraskewda has my bad. You happy now? They be doing things like this, but they can't like have complex bans. There you go. So currently Drizzle's allowed. One more thing I just want to check, because I don't remember if we ever banned this or not. I feel like we do. Oh, so it's not. Okay, so Damprock is not banned in the NU tier. Yeah, no way Politoed or Drizzle makes it. Low key, they might actually ban both, because if you look at the NU, they might actually ban both. There's no Slowbro in this tier. Like, you look at all these mons and look at Barraskewda is fast Basculegion, right? That's the only way I can look at it, right? Barraskewda is fast Basculegion that is faster than Kilowattrel, faster than everything in the tier, and flip turns on out of there on bad matchups and clicks strong CC. And that Barraskewda might end up being too much by itself. It can also run Terra Poison Jab to get through Serena if it really wants to, but I think more likely Terra Fight CC is better. Just good neutral stab that can hit Bronzong and things like that too. So I do think Rain in general is going to be too much for the tier, and that is not going to last very long. I think that Barraskewda might end up following, but I also think that they might take some mons from PU to try as well, like Milotic and things like that. But losing Gastrodon is big for this. Also, losing Muck is insane, right? Are you taking Muck? I don't know why Are you took Muck, but, well, I guess there's Gengar in that tier, and it's also something that can knock everything, Slowbro and things like that. But Are you taking Muck from NU is insane, because Muck was like the all-around, okay, here is my Curse Rest Talk Muck that can switch into Serena, that can beat Bronzong if it combines, that can deal with Diancie, that deals with Monkey Dory, which is a legitimate threat now. It's Sludge Wave, U-turn, and everything like that, right? It was already a threat anyway. So, Are you taking Muck from NU is absolutely huge for the tier. Crazy for the tier. And then, obviously, we also have Rhyperior dropping down, which I'm very happy about. I freaking love Rhyperior and NU. Like, when that mon... I love when that mon's NU, because that mon's like, oh, okay, you want to try and be, what the hell did I just touch? Sorry. You want to try, I was just moving around the scene, I guess, in the background that wasn't locked in. But, oh, you want to try and be a defensive wall on me? Nah, don't worry. I'm going to run Swords Dance Earthquake. I'm not going to lie. If you can run, obviously, Heat Crash, which is amazing, but you can also run Smackdown too, but like, Stone Edge, Rock Slide, Rock Blast, whatever the hell you want, man. This mon's good. You can even run, bro, you can get rid of the rock coverage if you really want to and just run Ice Punch, right? Why not? Flygon checked, Steels checked, Grounded mons checked. Like, this mon is disgusting with Terra as well. Terra Water. Oh, if you want to be the Kilowattrel answer, you run the Lightning Rod plus Terra Water. I mean, the Hurricane's still gonna hurt, but like, defensively, Terra is going to be great. Swords is going to be good. Stealth Rocker is going to be fantastic. Great for the tier. RU has like Hippo and stuff, so I don't think it really needs Rhyperior to be the rocker, but that's a really interesting one. Dreadnought also being used in NU is really cool. I mean, it has nothing to do with the drops or anything, but Dreadnought being in NU is really cool for that. I think NU to PU is a really, really, really crazy one because it's just sad to see Amoonguss. It's very sad to see Amoonguss. It's sad to see Amoonguss drop all the way down to the PU tier. I mean, look at the top 3 Pokemon and look at Amoonguss. Look at Decidueye right here and look at Amoonguss. Obviously, Decidueye could run Brave Bird or something. Or this is not the Poltergeist one. Amoonguss has a good place in the PU tier. Not thinking about it, right? It actually is a pretty good check to a lot of the top 10. So great for Amoonguss. It's sad to see it fall off so much. I mean, it wasn't great in NU, man. Once you lose Spore, like the fact that affects every tier below you is over, right? Sleeping on is over. What the hell am I doing to Muck? Right? Oh, I'm a stun Spore? Okay, I'm just gonna rest with my Muck. Oh, Bronzong just sets up on me. Oh, Serena's just gonna knock off in a triple axle. Flagon's gonna U-turn around. Oh, Terra Water Basculegion's gonna 2-shot me with Wave Crash. Like, or Shadow Ball if it's a special one. Like, I don't know. There's just like a lot. I don't think Amoonguss was a good mon. I think in PU it actually looks really good. Just looking at, again, the top 10 usage, just naturally Amoonguss with a Rocky Helmet looks pretty nice. Or just heavy duty boots and just being a nice passive switch into Milotic, Mudsdale and stuff. The fact that they can just click Toxic as well, right? It doesn't have to. This is not a tier where you need to click Spore. Look at why you got to put those monos to sleep. They barely doing damage, right? Oh, I'm a slowly wear you down with my Toxic plus my Rocky Helmet plus my Synthesis plus my Giga Drain plus my Clear Smudge / Sludge Bomb. You can afford to run both in my opinion because if you run Toxic, you don't have to worry about Florges. Obviously, Florges can like Terra on it, Terra Steel, Terra Poison, whatever, and that's something that I could see them running in front of that. But then that makes them weaker to Mudsdale's Earthquake, etc., etc., etc. So there's a lot with that. I think that's going to be a great tier for Amoonguss, though, to go down to. And we see Altaria, Bellibolt, and Scrafty moving up to NU. Altaria was a great defogger with Will-O-Wisp, right? Great defogger with Will-O-Wisp. Bellibolt is so nice defensively, man. Like, that mon takes super effective hits. It's a Flamigo check. It's a really nice one in that regard and can just Toxic. Flagon or things like that, Muddy Water, Volt Switch around, and Scrafty was also a good Monkey Dory check that can also, we've seen a lot of AV. Scrafty, I've seen a lot of bulk up too. Now, this ZU to Braviary. There is one person I know who spams the hell out of Braviary, and that person is Uberfiend. Every single time, they've been playing NU forever, and their team is Braviary. I can't remember everything, right? But it's Vileplume, which is also probably part of the reason why Vileplume stays around. Now, also Strength Step is big too. I do think Amoonguss is better than Vileplume, but only if it has Spore. If not, I think Vileplume's better, even though Regen is broken. And then it has like Hitmon top and stuff like that. But that dude spams this mon, right? He spams this mon. Defiant doesn't care. He clicks Brave Bird, Close Combat, and he has Defog. And I don't remember the last one. I think it's Tailwind or whatever the hell it is. But I think it's Life Orb. But this dude, Uberfiend, constantly plays on the middle to high ladder of the NU tier, and he is spamming this mon and has been spamming this mon and spamming this mon. You know what? Congratulations, dude. As a fellow Ambipom to the top enjoyer, I don't know if you are, but we have the same cause, just different mons. Speaking of Ambipom, I have a team that peaked really high in the E tier that I'll be using with it. But yeah, that mon running up to that tier is pretty crazy, but it makes sense. Like, shout out to Uberfiend. That's basically it. Now, from NU to ZU and from ZU to PUBL, from ZUBL to PU, Hariyama. Let's look at the PU. I mean, Hariyama looks cool with like bulk up and stuff like that. I wish. Every time I see Hariyama, I think of obviously Iron Hands, and I think to myself, wow, I wish Iron Hands had Mach Punch and everything. And everyone's probably like, what's the hell is wrong with you? But especially if you play VGC, Joey, what the hell is wrong with you? Just take off your headphones right now, just walk away and just shake your head, right? But that mon has Risen. We can actually go to this side now that we're here. But Risen to PU, I mean, looks pretty good with Terra. I know Belly Drum. I know Terra Steel bulk up is good. I know Belly Drum is really good with Terra Steel with the Bullet Punch for the faster mons. You're chilling right there. From Z to PU, we have Brute Bonnet as well as Quillfish. Assuming Quillfish was in top 10 of usage, so that moving up to the PU tier as a spiker is really cool as well. And then Grafai moving up here too. So I like that. Grafai, I know that Prankster is good, but I'm looking at the PU tier and I'm just thinking, wow, Poison Touch looks very good with just U-turning around and just getting poison and knocking off items and things like that. But from NU to ZU, what a drop off of Porygon. I don't think Porygon's great at all, by the way. That mon gets knocked off by every tier in the NU tier. And so it makes sense that that one just dropped all the way down to the ZU tier. In terms of ZU, it doesn't even look that good in terms of top 10, right? But maybe I'm wrong. But I think Porygon's main role, and whenever I think about Porygon, I only think about Trick Room, and that's it. That's the only thing I think about that. When it had Teleport, it's a different story. It doesn't have Teleport. I mean, Teleport was good on Trick Room anyway, but when it doesn't have Teleport, it's also a different story too. It's like, not the greatest month. But yeah, interesting changes this month. I'm excited to see. It's interesting to see like the U to RU look, the first impression fodder that fell down, and things like that. It's wild to see Weezing drop all the way up from RU to OU. Kind of reminds me of like the, Gastrodon, Seismitoad, Tangrowth during different generations. How they do that depending on when they have to deal with a top tier threat. But let me know your thoughts down below. I will see you guys in the next video. Like I said, also, if you want to check out the 10-year anniversary Drop a Draco Advanced GG merch, you guys went freaking crazy for the fourth wall stuff. And thank you so much, guys. I cannot wait. I know I still have about 200 videos to send out because we got so many orders yesterday. So I'll send those out tomorrow as thank yous. For those that don't know, I was sending out like, I had sent out 600 plus thank you videos to everybody, personal ones. For everybody who bought, so I appreciate it. But if y'all want to check this out, feel free to. If you get anything caffeinated 18 plus, but if we do sell, I don't know the specific number, but I know we're like halfway or 40% where the hell it is. We'll get some free socks, Drop a Draco socks, and every single one of these, I'll just be added. And if enough people want them, we'll probably just end up adding them to the store in general too. But feel free to check them out. We'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.